have a bus driver named Dave who has never received any credit. And he's been working for me for almost 10 years now. This man has successfully gotten me to every single comedy show on time without fail. If I had to describe him to you, okay? Dave looks like the word America. Not America, America. He's about 6 feet tall, he's white, he has a gray beard, and he wears a trucker hat. And he's gotta be one of the most hardworking people I have ever met. Now, when I say hardworking, hey, I'm on the road 46 weeks out of the year, so I know. Difference is, I fly home every Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. Dave stays on that bus and he gets it to the next city where we meet him. He works anniversaries, holidays, special moments. Christmas time, I was with my family. Dave was driving that bus on the East Coast. New Year's, I was with my family. Dave was on the East Coast driving that bus. One of the hardest working people I've ever met. I just want to give him a shout out. In addition to being hardworking, he's very honest. Now, when I say honest, I don't mean, oh, he does his taxes right. I mean painfully honest, no filter honest. He talks the way people used to. He does not have time to mince words. He just calls it like he sees it. Before me, he used to work with a man by the name of Kenny G. Grammy Award winner, amazing, amazing music. One day, Kenny G was on his tour bus that Dave was driving, and I guess the two of them had a little discussion, and Kenny G used some words that Dave would have rather him not have used, and instead of getting into it with him, this is what Dave does. Kicked Kenny G off of his own bus. Because he would rather lose his job than lose his self-respect. And that's the man I work with. He's a bad dude. You guys are clapping, but you should have seen the interview. Oh man, it was a good one. He looks at me and he says, hey, let's get one thing straight. I don't give a shit who you are. You treat me right, I'll treat you right. You pay me on time, you'll live. Not to mention the fact that he keeps that tour bus squeaky clean. And he takes a lot of pride in that as well. One night, I was drinking on the bus, and I go to put my cup down, and I missed the table, and the cup hit the floor. I didn't get up right away to get the cup, because I figured I'm gonna get up in a couple minutes and make myself another drink. I'll pick up the cup then. Dave sees the cup on the floor, and then he looks at me and says, hey, I ain't your mama, pick that shit up. I get to the back of the bus and I'm like, wait a minute, I pay him. Hey, Dave, shut up. Yeah, I'll be in the back in my room. Thank you. Drive safe. And people tell me, you work with a man who talks that way to you? Why? Let me tell you why. Because he's honest. With Dave, you know exactly what you get. Nowadays, it is so hard for me to tell who's being genuine and who has an agenda. And with him, you know exactly where you stand. If he likes you, he loves you. And if not, you're on the curb with Kenny G. That being said, I have a story to share. About a year and a half ago, maybe longer, we're on the bus and we're heading down the highway. Just so you have kind of an understanding of the bus layout, let's say this is the front. Here's Dave, the driver, empty seat, and then a sliding door that goes in between him and the rest of the tour bus. My buddy Alfred and I are in the living room portion and we're watching TV. We're watching the news. And on the news, there's this person who is running for some type of office. No particular office. And I guess their big plan is to erect a structure between two bodies of land. Somewhere. And I guess they want one side of the structure to finance the entire project. Well, my buddy Alfred and I, we have a lot of family that works in construction, and we know a bad job when we see one. So we started to voice our opinion out loud about how we felt about this person and what they wanted to do. We're being very loud. So loud, Dave can hear us. And then we hear Dave. America. I yell out to Dave. I said, "Be quiet, Dave. This isn't about you." He taps a button on the dashboard that activates the sliding door. And when the door's about that far from closing, he yells out, "I'm building a wall." I couldn't even get upset because I was too much in shock over the fact that that came out of someone 4 feet away from me. My buddy Alfred and I, we look like chickens. We're like, my cell phone goes off. I take out my phone, and there's a text message from Dave. And I said, "That's right. He better say I'm sorry. He better say just kidding." I open up the text message, and it says, "And you're paying for it." And people tell me, "You still work with him after that?" Yes, I do. I trust that man with my life every single night. I know where his heart's at. He can say whatever he wants. At the end of the day, he still has to drive around the king of the Mexicans. Getting back into the swing of things, we have definitely come a long way from 2020. The fact that we're in a sold-out stadium, elbow to elbow, ready to laugh, have fun. We've come a long way. You know? 2020, you guys, I gotta just thank my dogs. I gotta thank my dogs, because my dogs kept me sane, they kept me happy, they kept me focused. Because I was so depressed, I was sad, I didn't know what to make of things. Do we have any dog owners? Yeah? See, dog owners, you know what's up. No other animal in the world will give you 100% like a dog. What, cat? No. I'm sorry. No disrespect to cats or cat owners. But cat owners, you know as well as I do. Your cats, because I know you got more than one. Your cats look at you like you live in their house. You walk in, you try to scold them for something. And then when you try to talk to them, they turn their back on you and show you their butthole. And you're staring, you're like, "Oh my God, it's so dark." Only a dog will give you 100% of itself. That's why they get so sad when they know you're about to leave, and why they get so happy when you come home. You are literally everything they've been looking forward to. And now you're back! I know for a fact, nothing on this planet loves me more than my dogs. I said this last night and someone said, "What about your son?" I said, "Nothing loves me more." I could leave my dressing room for 1 minute or 1 hour. When I come back, the reaction is the same. It is the greatest moment ever, every single time. Oh yeah. My dog Vinny will jump off the couch and run towards me top speed. And then when he gets to me, he jumps up and down. And he makes a sound like a... You can almost hear, "Where were you? Where were you? Where were you?" And he pees everywhere. I used to get upset that he would do that, but then I thought about it. My dog loves me so much, he cannot control his own bodily functions. That's why when I would go home, I would immediately pick him up before anything. And then my girlfriend would get mad. "How come you don't come to me first?" I said, because the dog loves me more. How do you know I don't love you more? I said, I don't see a puddle. Nita, dry. Yeah, she didn't like that, sorry. But yeah, these dogs, man, let me tell you. And I apologize if I'm kind of stuttering or I'm not as focused right now. I have never been distracted by a blimp with my face on it. I'm sorry, Netflix, but shit, this... This is like a birthday and Christmas and the Super Bowl and the World Series and losing my virginity all at the same time. Oh, even saw the lights of the Goodyear blimp. I'm sorry, you guys. I'm just so goddamn happy right now. Thank you. I wish my mom were here to see this. You have no idea. She would have been happy to see all of you, but she would have been like, no, chingue su madre, mira lo que mi hijo está en el cielo. And that's another thing that's changed, you guys. My son Frankie is now 18 years old and 1 week away from graduation. You guys are clapping, but he's not leaving. I've already asked him, I said, Frankie, what do you want to do with your life? Have you thought about college? Just now. I'm like, Frankie, you do realize that all you need to do is get accepted. I tell a lot of jokes. I will pay for your entire college education, no matter where you want to go. As long as you get accepted. What do you think about that? I say, you know, if you want to go to school in California, we'll make it happen. You want to go to school out of state, we'll make it happen. I said, hell, I'll even do one of those international programs. You know, the ones where you give them one of your children and then they give you one of their children? What is it called when you kid swap? Thank you, sorry. That's right, exchange. Some of you are like, that's called human trafficking. Different program. I would love to do an exchange program with my son, but don't give me a regular kid. If I'm gonna do an exchange program, give me a kid from like a hardcore third world country so that he appreciates all the basic things most American children take for granted. That's why I say, give me little Tombutu. Give me Tombutu. I would love Tombutu, and Tombutu would love me.
Mr. Fluffy?
Yes, Tombutu.
I was wondering, what time do we go to sleep?
You go to sleep whenever you like. This is your room. We sleep next door. All of this is for Tombutu? Yes, all of this is for Tombutu.
In my village, 2 families sleep in an area this big.
Well, here in America, one big-ass Mexican kid sleeps right here. Enjoy. And then I would take him to like IHOP or Denny's and let him order whatever he wants and just watch him lose it. You know?
This is the Thanksgiving I heard of. Thank you, Mr. Fluffy. Thank you. If there is anything Tombutu can do for you, please tell me. Anything.
Can you help me take out the trash?
For you, I will eat the trash.
Meanwhile, my son's on the other... money from me. Yeah, and they weren't even family. So chingate esta, watch. I get a phone call from my manager telling me that someone reached out claiming to have video footage of me being inappropriate with models. Yeah, see? Look at it. You guys are like me. Yeah, I'm like, I need to see it too. Now, no disrespect to any woman who has ever given me the opportunity. But none of them were models. Maybe a couple of cochinas from West Covina, maybe. But they were not models. They were not models. They were just good citizens. Thank you. So anyway, they said I had until 9 a.m. to make a deposit of $50,000 into an account, or they were going to release the footage to TMZ, and my career was going to be over. When I got the message, it was already 6 p.m. So I had missed the deadline by like half a day. So I was like, well, let me turn on the TV, still, see if I still got a job. And clearly this is the first time you guys are hearing about this because there was no footage. They were just trying to scare me into giving them money. The only reason why I'm telling you the story is because only 50,000? Like seriously, that's what my career's worth? Don't get me wrong, I know when I said 50,000, some of you were like, oh, and it is a lot of money. But if you're gonna go after a celebrity, $50,000 is really low. Like, to put into perspective, they did the same thing to Kevin Hart. And with Kevin Hart, they hit him for $10 million. $10 million, which lets me know where I stand on the comedy totem pole of success. There's Kevin Hart with 10 million, and I am like the Groupon of extortion.
Where'd you get your extortion? Got that shit at Ross. It was on clearance.
$50,000. You can't even buy an Escalade with $50,000. That is like a Hyundai Sonata at best, okay? Out of all the countries I performed in, my favorite country outside of home is Australia. And I'll tell you why. Australia, much like us in America, has its list of priorities. You know what's not on their list? Political correctness. They do not care about your feelings. It's like a country full of Daves. Believe it or not, it's very refreshing to be around such a large group of people who speak their minds so freely. And if you know that before you go there, you're gonna have an amazing time. But if you don't know that and you show up, it is a culture shock and a half, because I showed up and I didn't know. Everybody says you gotta see the beaches, and I went to the beach. I had people coming up to me. Hey, somebody help me get him back in the water. Yeah, look at right there, big fella. Look at you right there. Oh, look, he's moving. He's moving. He's moving. Oh, he's crying. He's crying. I bet it tastes like gravy. It's not bullying if everyone does it. Yeah, that being said, I'm in Australia, Sydney, Australia, at the Opera House. For me, it was one of the most iconic places I've ever got to perform in. It was bucket list, definitely. After the show, I wanted to go hang out with some Aussies and see what that was like. I'm hanging out at a pub. First things first, Australian people do not drink Foster's beer. That's an American thing. They don't drink that over there. I tried ordering one to fit in, didn't go over well. Bartender looked at me. Hey, you like the taste of piss, do ya? Okay, don't order that again. So I'm hanging out with these two Aussies, and we're drinking a rum called Bundaberg. At first glance, it looks like a Coca-Cola bottle because there's a polar bear on the front. And then you drink it, and you're like, that's not Coke. As we're talking, a third Australian joined the conversation. And he sounded a little bit different from the other two. He had more of a raspy voice. More like, all right, yeah, mate, yeah, all right. He sounded like a drunk pirate underwater. These two guys didn't like him, so they called him a name and they left. And now it's just me and drunk pirate. We're talking about life. Life in America, life in Australia, talking about our differences. He tells me that he's a professional knife maker. He's showing me how it's done. He's showing me pictures. We wind up polishing off 3 bottles of this rum. And drunk wasn't even the right word to describe our level. My tour manager, Ryan, he comes up to me and he says, Gabe, time to go. And I look at Ryan and I'm like, but Ryan, I just made a friend and he makes knives and they're pretty. My tour manager always knows how to talk to me no matter what condition I'm in. If I'm drunk, he knows better than to talk to me like I'm an adult. He talks to me like I'm 2. He looks at me and he says, hey, buddy. You hungry? Well, listen, if we don't leave right now, they're gonna close McDonald's and you're gonna have to eat at the airport. I gotta go. Oh, Mom, you gotta go, no worries. And he goes to shake my hand. And when he shook my hand, he put his personal pocket knife that he made in my hand as a gift. That's for you, Mike. Thanks for being nice. Thank you. Thank you. I'm gonna cut cheeseburgers with this. Martin and I just got back from India. Yeah. So let me tell you, I started posting on Facebook and Twitter that we were gonna go out there to do these shows. And then people started sending me messages, questioning what I was gonna do. First of all, are they gonna understand you in India? Will they understand English okay? Will they be able to follow along with your stories? Once we got there, I come to find out that more people speak English in India than in all of the US and Canada put together. Might as well throw Mexico in there for extra credit. Because there's that many people, and yes, they have the internet. They got the internet, they got Bollywood, they got Hollywood. They understand American culture so much more than we understand theirs. Second thing, people tried to warn me about going over there.
Gabriel, be careful. India is a third world country. Don't drink the water in India. It contains parasites that'll make you really sick. Don't eat the food from the street people, especially the street meat. It contains a parasite that'll make you really sick. And most importantly, there's a lot of crime over there. Don't stay out late. When the sun goes down, you go down.
I'm like, is it that bad?
Parasites.
So I'm like, let me get this straight. There's a lot of crime. Don't stay out late. Don't eat any of the food from the street vendors. And don't drink the water. Why does that sound familiar? That's Mexico! When Martin and I got over there, we found out that Indian people and Mexican people have so much in common, you guys. I'm telling you, it's insane how similar we are, especially the food. The food is so similar. For example, Mexicans love tortillas. Indian people love naan bread, which is a fluffier form of a tortilla. Mexicans love chicken. Indians love chicken. Mexicans love hot and spicy. Indians invented hot and spicy. Most popular drink in Mexico is Fanta. Most popular drink in India is Fanta. Indian people worship cows. Mexicans love barbecues. A lot of similarities. Most of the people that I met over there were very hardworking and humble. And I gotta tell you, every time I talked to someone, I was always greeted the same way. They'd look at me, they'd put their hands together, they'd do a little bow, and they say, Namaste, which is an endearing hello. It's really nice and sweet. And then I noticed that Indian people, when you're talking to them, do this thing with their head, where it will begin to move side to side as they're speaking. Now, at first when you notice it, you think, oh, he slept wrong. He just got a kink in his neck. Get a Tempur-Pedic! Now, when they start speaking, their head starts moving. And I noticed this. The guy is checking us into the hotel, and he's really cool. He's like, listen, if you have any problems at all, okay, you call the front desk, you press 0. We will send somebody to your room to help you. Whatever you need, we got it for you right here, okay? It's very good. Now, one thing I notice is the more they talk and the more excited Indian people get, the more the head starts to move around. Somebody at the hotel yelled out to the clerk, that's Fluffy. And the guy was like, oh my God, I don't believe it. I can do it. I thought it was you. I thought it was you. Oh my God, I cannot believe it. This is so crazy. Oh my God, Fluffy, Fluffy, Fluffy. Even crazier than that is that the mouth is actually connected to the neck. When the mouth stops moving, the head stops wherever the mouth left off. And when you see Indian people talking to each other, you can see it. Okay, let me tell you something. Okay, okay, hold on, wait, hold on, wait, okay. Like if you're Indian and you stutter, you are so screwed. Somebody stop him! I'm not gonna lie, you guys. When I first saw this happen, I thought it was hysterical. I thought it was funny. But then I started thinking about it. Head movement is just a form of expression. No matter where you live in this world, people express themselves in their own unique way, whether through facial expressions, hand gestures, body movement, extra words. Everywhere you go, things are different, and that's just how they express themselves in India. Now, back to the whole Indians-Mexican thing. That is something else that we share in common with Indian people. Head movement. Now, some of you in the building tonight are like, stupid, we don't have head movement. Yes, we do. It's a little different. See, with Indian people, the head movement is side to side. Mexicans, our head movement is front to back. The difference between that is that with Mexicans, we have to be very, very upset in order for you to see the head movement. Otherwise, you can't tell. With Indians, it's all the time. Oh, today is such a nice day. It is such a beautiful day today. I'm so happy. It's very nice, very good. Oh my God, I can't believe it's so nice. It's such a pretty. Mexicans, when we're mad, that's when it comes out. For non-Latinos, hey, trust me, you cut off a Mexican in traffic, see what happens. ¡Sácate, pendejo! ¡Lárgate, cabrón! ¡Quítate, desgraciado! That's funny. I don't know why the black people are laughing. You guys take it all. Oh, no, you didn't. Oh, hell no. I know he ain't talking about me. I hit a bell. I hit a bell. I made myself dizzy doing it. So let me tell you guys, if you ever get the opportunity to travel to India, I encourage you to check it out. You are gonna see some beautiful things. You are gonna see some amazing things. You are gonna see some sad, depressing things and some real horrible things. Overall, it's a well-balanced trip. But when you get back home here to the United States, you will have a whole different appreciation for your life. Believe that. I guarantee this, you guys. There's a lot of people in India, and with a lot of people comes a lot of traffic. First things first, American traffic and Indian traffic, very different. Here, whatever happens on the freeway will stop the whole freeway. In India, there's 10 times the traffic, but it moves. See, the problem is Americans, we're fascinated by accidents. We're fascinated by the idea of seeing potential death. That's why we slow down on the freeways. We say we don't want to see it, but what happens in traffic? You know, what's going on over there? There doesn't even have to be a collision. You could be on the 101 freeway and a car has a tire blowout and it spins. Doesn't hit anything. It's now facing oncoming traffic. You know what happens to the rest of the freeway? Even on the other freeway where there's no accident. And again, what's going on? What's going on? I'm sorry, hey, somebody might be dead. Sorry. In India, if there's an accident in the middle of the street, you know what they do? They drive right around it. They don't stop. And it's not that they're not sensitive to the situation. They are. It's just that there's so much chaos that happens on a regular basis. They just need to get to work. They do see what's happening. And believe me, they're heartfelt. You know, they'll drive around. I'm so sorry for you. Nothing stops the flow of traffic in India. They need to get from point A to point B. And so they go. If there's an accident, they drive around. If there's something blocking the street, they get on the sidewalk to go around. It's amazing the way they drive. And here's something else. No one uses turn signals over there. No one uses turn signals. They use a horn. Now, if you go to India tomorrow, from the time you get there to the time you leave, you're constantly going to hear a horn. It's an actual language when people are driving. I'll show you. You're driving? Car on your right. Car on your left. Light up ahead. They talk to each other while they're driving, and they barely miss each other every single time. Also, you'll be on the 101 freeway here, and there'll be 6 lanes. In India, you'll see 6 lanes, but guess what? You'll see 12 cars across. Yes, they have lines, but they're basically there to let you know more or less the direction you might want to go in. They're this close to each other. And even at the light, they communicate. You see everything. Cars, trucks, vans, motorcycles, pedestrians, cows, children, all waiting for the light. And they talk at the light with the horn. Very good, you can go, you can go. Welcome, you're welcome, go. Nothing stops the flow of traffic over there. Indian people drive. Think of ants. You know how ants travel in a straight line? And if there's something in the way like a rock, ants will split up, go around the rock and reunite, or climb over the rock. Worst case scenario, they dig a hole and go under the rock. That's the mentality of driving in India. A man can get shot in the middle of the street. People just look at each other. Somebody pick him up. And they'll drag his ass onto the sidewalk. And if there's an accident and they need to get around, guess what's gonna happen to that guy on the sidewalk? Nothing stops the flow of traffic in India, except a cow. Now, I know we've always heard the stories and the jokes about, oh, Indian people don't eat hamburgers. I asked the question and I found out. It's believed that cows are people who have died and they've been reincarnated and their new life is now the cow, which is why they don't eat them and why they give them all the love and respect in the world over there. I saw this firsthand. There's a cow crossing the street while we're driving. And the cows know, they're cocky, they know that they can cross. Again, all the cows, and the cows out there all cocky. Gling, 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 gling. No one honks at the cows. No one yells at the cows. No one touches the cows. They wait for the cows to finish crossing. The cow that we had laid down. The driver just shut off the car. Started tweeting. There is a cow in the middle of the street. Hashtag Momo. I asked the driver, what's going on? Sir, there is a cow. I see that there's a cow. Are you gonna honk at it, go around? What's gonna happen? We cannot honk at the cow. We must wait for the cow to move. You're kidding. I am not kidding. We must wait for the cow. We drove past a dead body 15 minutes ago. That is probably him. Like seriously, the driving situation over there is so intense, you guys. One morning while we're there, I needed to get to the airport fast because I overslept. And so I get in the cab and I hand the driver a $50 bill. And I go, sir, I am running very late. I need to get to the airport as soon as possible. Whatever side street you have to take or back road, I'm all for it. Whatever you have to do, let's do it. And I hand him the money and he goes, very good, let's go. And we take off. The guy is hitting anywhere from 50 to 70 miles an hour on the street. We are making incredible time. I notice that we're heading in the direction of a red light. You ever been in a car with someone and you're paying attention to what's going on and you notice that you're about to hit a red light And you know how you start to mentally and physically prepare yourself for the deceleration of the car? And you start anticipating the pressure from the brake. And if you don't get the sensation of slowing down by a certain point, all alarms go off in your head and you sock the driver in the chest. Hey! Not only did I not get the sensation of slowing down, I got the opposite. He gunned it towards the light. And it caught me off guard. I couldn't even scream. I was like, "Arr!" and then I got air. Hey, pull over, pull over. He didn't even know what he did. He looks at me, he goes, what is wrong? What do you mean, what is wrong? Dude,